welcome back to my channel, TorAthena, where today I'm trying a different kind of layout in my room. I hope it looks good, but I'm further away from the camera, so I can't tell. I really hope so. So today is time for another Monday video, and I was thinking, what can I do? And then I was looking through my phone, looking for just an app or a game to download or play, and a bunch of question or weird apps came up, and I kind of thought they might be interesting to do as a video. And there was this one that came up where, you've probably heard of it, I think it was mentioned on the Big Bang Theory, that there are 36 questions you can ask someone and you are meant to be able to fall in love with them after you've done the whole 36 questions. And I thought, ooh, that could be interesting to do. So I'm gonna answer all these 36 questions. I have no idea how long this video is gonna be, but it'll be interesting to see if you fall in love with me during this video. So shall we begin? I really hope I'm in focus. I look so tired. Can you fall in love with a tired person? What? That's not the first question. Question number 1. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? Ooh, how many people do I get? Charlie Chaplin, because he's my hero. Is it alive or dead? Anyone in the world? I'm going to assume they can be dead. Jeremy Corbyn, because I think he's my hero. And Emily Pankhurst, because I think I have to have a woman there, and I think she's possibly the strongest woman in the history of women. And I'm just telling myself it's 3, because I'm not cooking for everyone. Would you like to be famous? And if so, in what way? It sounds weird, because you're on YouTube, that you would think that you aspire for possibly fame. I don't necessarily want to be famous, but I want to be well known in the field I want to be good at. I'd love to have everyone else who are writers go, oh, I'd love to be like Lucy Myatt, you know? So yeah, I want to be well known, sort of good, I guess. I guess you could be famous for anything. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say and why? Yes. I rehearse what I'm gonna say all the time. Especially if I know it's gonna be quite a difficult conversation to have with someone, I rehearse it a lot. What would you constitute a perfect day for you? I think a perfect day for me would be genuinely exploring. It would be going on a road trip, going to somewhere like York, or somewhere abroad, somewhere I've never been before, somewhere where there's something to do and something to see, something to explore. And I would just have my camera, and I would, for some reason, not have anything magically heavy to carry, because I hate being burdened by baggage. And I'd just have my camera, and there would be road trips, and there'd be exploring, and there'd be coffee. Honestly, that'd be the perfect day for me. I'd love it. Yeah. When did you last sing to yourself or to someone else? I sing all the time. No, I really do. I am so weird. I sing in the shower, which is kind of normal. I have a set list in the shower, which I also assume is normal. But then I will just be singing, and I'll just be tidying my room, going I'm tidying my room. I don't care if anyone can hear me. I'm like a walking musical. I just break out into song all the time. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or the body of a 30-year-old for the last 6 years of your life, what would you want? And off the cuff, it seems vain, but it's not. I would have the body of a 30-year-old because, hear me out, not only do I have this crippling fear that I'm gonna get traded in for a younger model, which is probably why I'm single forever, I'm gonna be 30 next year, and I do not think that I have anywhere done with evolving mentally. I have matured a lot in the last year alone, and the amount of progression and opportunity that's there ahead of me, I wouldn't want to pass on that. So if I was stuck just being mentally 30 without being able to grow as a person, I would hate that. Now, I get scared at the idea that they say that Alzheimer's is implied in there, but I think I'd rather risk it than be stuck. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die? Dark? No. Name 3 things you and your partner have in common. Oh, well, that's difficult right now. We must like me to some degree, because you're watching me and I have to put up with me, so liking me is a bonus. We like YouTube, and we must have some sort of visual or hearing aid to be able to watch or listen to videos. So there we go. Technically, that's 4 things. That was hard. For what in your life do you feel most grateful? That's very hard for me because I write down 6 things I'm grateful for every day, 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon, because I think gratitude is the key to happiness in life. You know, if you don't take stuff for granted, you will never be unhappy. My dad is a rock of mine. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad, down to just being my best friend, my mentor, my labourer who built my shop. He was the one who had the idea of opening in Liverpool. At the same time, I'm so grateful for my shop because it has been a stepping stone to YouTube, to comic books, to my geeky, wonderful life. It's given me the freedom that like working for game never gave me. My health, although I'm not the healthiest person, I still have a lot of health, but I think I will go with my dad. I think my dad I am the most grateful for because if I didn't have my shop, he'd still be there. If I didn't have my health, he would still be there. He is just the constant in my life. Oh, I'm getting emotional. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? Hands down, I wish my dad, as much as I love him, was more involved in my youth, because we were just me and my dad. He was a single parent and he had to deal with a lot of stuff. He had to work, he had to provide, and then be there as a father and a friend and a mentor. And he was too tired. He was too tired. He worked so long. He was too tired to be there. He didn't really care if I got my homework done. He didn't really go to school plays. He didn't really go to parents' evening. And I wish he'd pushed me more. I wish he made sure I did my homework. I wish he'd encouraged me to be more active in school because I was a smart kid, but I didn't have a lot of guidance in that way academically. Take 4 minutes to tell your partner your life story in as much detail as possible. Okay, this will be hard because there's some stuff that I don't feel comfortable saying on the internet, but I will try. Start. It's even got a timer. That's really good. I was born in September 1988 in Arrow Park Hospital. My dad was the first person to hold me and his first words were, "I will never leave you," and he never did. When I was 2, my mum and dad broke up and my mum took my half sister Vicky from a previous marriage and I stayed with my dad. I saw my mum throughout the whole of my childhood. I saw her on the weekends. To be honest, my mum and dad were the only marriage or relationship I know that did it right. They were just like, right, what's good for the kid? This is what's good for the kid. We're doing that. So I grew up seeing my mum on the weekends, seeing my dad during the weekday, and school was good. I was good at school. I was a little swot. I was smart, but I had no direction. I always remember though, I always wanted to write. Ever since I was a little girl, like 6 years old, I wanted to be a writer. Then I went to high school and high school was weird. I was not bullied, but I picked friends that were bad for me. I had one friend who was just horrible to me. And then I met another girl. She was pretty much an abusive relationship in the form of friendship. She was horrible. If we ever fell out, she made my life a living hell. I remember when high school finished, she was going to a different college and I was made up. I was so happy and I never spoke to her again after that, ever. I had a boyfriend in high school who was also the worst decision of my life. He was just horrible. He made me feel so bad. I was a skinny pretty girl, and then he used to point out all these girls to me, like to the point where I couldn't even like turn the TV on without him pointing out a girl. And it's not just on TV, it was in real life, and it gave me such a complex. To this day I can't handle people pointing out other people to me. Like it breaks me. And before him I didn't care. He spat in my face. He put me down. He once admitted to me after we broke up, but if he wanted me to shut up, he would just point out girls because he knew it would upset me and I'd go quiet. He was horrible. He was absolutely horrible as a person. So a mixture of this bad friend and this bad boyfriend. I just had no self-esteem. I put on loads of weight. I was just unhappy. I never went to school. I just started truanting a lot. It was a bit of a horrible, looking back, it could have really changed my life for a much worse than it did. But it didn't, and I ended up dropping out of college twice because I had no discipline by this point. I went to college twice, dropped out twice. So when my dad realized I dropped out of college for the second time, he went, right, that's it, you're paying rent. And I went, what? And he went, right, you're paying rent until your life's on track. Then he said, as soon as you get a job, you don't have to pay rent. So I ran out and I got a job and I started working in game, and I worked there for 3 years, and it was the best 3 years of my life, except for actually working in game. It was the people who were like family to me. Then I realized I hated working in retail. I hated working minimum wage, and I was like, this is my life. So I got an access course to get into university, got accepted into every university I applied for, was going to do history or psychology or both, depending on which university I went to. Then I ended up opening a game shop of my own and dropped out of college 2 weeks before I was actually meant to start. Now I'm in level up for 7 years, and that is my life because I've always been stubborn and I've always had to do it my own way. way. And 3 years ago, someone had the idea I did YouTube and I didn't want to and I was scared, and now I couldn't imagine my life without it. It's weird. And I've just finished down to the second. But you could tell I realised there was only a minute left when I started speeding up. But that is my life in 4 minutes. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? That's hard. Because one thing I've always wanted is to be able to sing. It's something that's just been such a big deal to me. I don't know why. I can sing karaoke, but I can't sing, you know, and I don't know why I'd love that. But I think realistically I would want something more practical. I think I would love to either be able to draw. I can copy quite well, like that She-Hulk that you can barely see there, that's mine. I painted that, but that was me copying a picture. I would love to be able to draw, and I'd like to focus my writing a lot better, sharpen the skills up more, and maybe create a comic if I could have drawn like that, you know? My uncle is an amazing artist and it's not fair, he took all the skill. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know? I honestly don't know if I'd want to know anything, because because I think the one thing I'd want to know is just if I would be happy. And if it says no, I'd go, why? And I'd go, is that because I was going to be happy? But then because I interfered with my future, I try to make sure I am happy, and by interfering it, I change my destiny and I'm not happy anymore. I freak out about stuff like that. I think I would genuinely not want to know. If there's something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time, why haven't you done it? Travel. I've wanted to travel a lot more, and although I have started to travel when cheap opportunities arise, there's certain things I haven't done, and that's because of money. I wanted to drive, once again, money. I also don't want to learn to drive in Liverpool. I want to drive at home where I live with my dad, because it's more rural and easier, and at the moment I'm not there a lot. I want to buy a house. That's all I want to do. I just want to buy a house. When I was growing up with my dad, I remember even at the age of 6 worrying that my dad was going to die, and every single day I have had to think about that at least once, that what happens if my dad dies? And I have no savings. My dad has no savings, and I remember, especially before I was 18, especially if my dad died, I'd be homeless and alone and with no one, and it scared me. And to be honest, not much has changed. Financially, I'd be homeless and alone with nobody, and it terrifies me. And so I think having such an easy rug to pull out from your feet at such a young age, I think the idea of me owning my home was a security that was so important to me. And once again, money. I have lived pretty much month to month, paycheck to paycheck my whole life, and that's okay, and I'm happy, and I don't really want much out of life except cheese. But I wish I was able to earn a little bit more and save a little bit more and one day own a house. And I don't even want a big house, I just want something that's mine. What is the greatest accomplishment of your life? I think the greatest accomplishment of my life is, I don't know if I want to be obvious or deep, but obvious. I think one of the greatest achievements I've ever done is written a book. I think it's amazing what I've done with Level Up, but that is through the help of everyone else. Like, if customers didn't buy stuff, I wouldn't have Level Up. You know, if staff didn't help, I wouldn't have Level Up. But the book I wrote, and it, you know, was based off the idea, like the imagery of Alan, who is a fantastic artist, but I came up with a story, and I came up with a plot and a beginning, middle and end, and I'd never done that before. And like I said, all my life I'd wanted to be a writer, and I finally wrote a book. And I hate the editing, but I love the story, and the second edition will be coming out soonish, and I'll be so proud of it, and it will be the greatest accomplishment of my life so far. I think the deep version, my greatest accomplishment, is that I've just managed to be able to live my life pretty much, not necessarily the way I'd want. I think everyone wants it to be different, but I was unhappy in game, and I changed that, and I made myself my own boss, and I gave myself different kind of worries and struggles. If you watch my vlogs, you'll see how depressingly stressed and down I am at the moment, but I'm also, every day I know that I'm happy at the same time, because I make my own choices in life, and I like where they've gone. What do you value most in a friendship? Honesty. Absolute and utter honesty. I don't want a yes man in any relationship I have. If I'm with a guy or girl who says yes to me just for the sake of appeasing me because they're too scared to tell me their opinion, or too scared that we'll fight, I can't have that in my life. I hate it. It drives me insane. Honesty and loyalty is just so important to me. What is your most treasured memory? I think one of my most treasured memories is this day. Like I said, my dad was never around because he was always working. I always remember one time he just wasn't working, and he let me take the day off. and we had this door that went into the garden, and it was really sunny, and I just remember sitting there eating a yogurt or a chocolate mousse yogurt, and was sitting in the doorway, and my dad's sitting there as well, and I think he might have been eating one too. And I remember the sun hitting my legs, and it was really warm, and we were just sitting there just spending time together. That still just makes me so happy when I think about it, and that's like a treasured memory. What is your most terrible memory? I think once upon a time it would have been when my nan died. I missed her by 5 minutes. I had to go to work and game, I had to run it, and I couldn't leave early, and I missed my nan dying by like 5 minutes, and then my dad was outside crying, and I had to go into the room and she was dead. It was horrible. But I was also very numb, and we knew it was happening, so like, 'cause she had Pick's disease, which is like Alzheimer's. I think my new worst memory is a couple of months ago. If you follow my vlogs, you will have seen a post where I talk about it. I was genuinely the closest to committing suicide. I had fallen out with so many people for X, Y, Z reasons, and everything was going wrong in the shop, and me and my best friend ended up having a fight, and that was it. I was like so alone, and the idea of feeling that alone crippled me, and I was sitting in the shower, and I felt like I just felt so alone. I've never felt so alone in my life. But I rang my dad, and my dad got so upset, he got so worried, but I got over it, and my life has day by day got better ever since. So glad I didn't. If you knew that in 1 year you would die suddenly, would you change anything about the way you live your life now? Why? I would, if I knew I only had 1 year left to live, I would 100% leave Level Up. I love Level Up. It is one of my dreams. It's one of my passions, but if I had a year left to live, it's my dream job, and I wouldn't want to have a job anymore. I would still vlog because I actually love genuinely creating and editing and doing that process. Even when they're crappy vlogs, I still love doing it, so I'd probably still do YouTube. I would travel more. I would be even more honest. And I would eat cheese every day and drink wine, and I would open the last bottle of Lucozade I've got before they changed the sugar formula. It's probably disgusting now, and it's probably really off, but I would drink it because f***ing I'm dying. I feel like my answers are so lame. I just feel like I don't think out of the box. Like some people will be like, a bungee jump, I'll run around naked. I don't know, I just live my life a little bit more freely than I do now, I guess. What does friendship mean to you? Everything. And it's the reason why I can be single for as much as I am and not miss being in a relationship, because the love and care and affection I have is from all my beautiful, wonderful friends. I just have the happiest life with the greatest people. It's everything. What roles do love and affection play in your life? I wish it played more in my life because I am a massive romantic. I love love. I probably love love more than I love relationships, if I'm honest. Bluntly speaking, sex, not so much. Sex is great, sex is fun. There isn't that much of a need or drive in my life. I think that's another reason why I'm very comfortable being single for so long. But affection and love, yeah. When I miss relationships, that's what I miss. I miss falling in love. Alternate sharing something you consider a positive characteristic of your partner. Share a total of 5 items. Okay, well this could be where you comment. You can comment 5 positive characteristics to me, and I'm going to tell you 5 positive characteristics now. 1, you are awesome people for always watching my videos. 2, you are genuine, caring people, because to watch these type of videos, they're not really entertaining. They are deep and true, and that means you care about the person you're watching, so thank you. 3, you are probably very supportive, and you probably are subscribed, and you probably like and comment and all that and stuff. 4, I've genuinely become very good friends with a lot of my viewers, because especially when they interact with me a lot, I get to know you a lot, and we get to talk, and especially like when we do the streams, it builds up such a positive community, and I genuinely see you all as just like friends. And 5, your comments genuinely brighten my day. So even if you think you are just commenting just to, I don't know, I read every single one, and I may not reply to all of them, but I've read every single comment, and so many are so caring and funny, and you're just brilliant people. How close and warm is your family? Do you feel your childhood was happier than most other people's? I believe my childhood was happy. I don't know if it was happier than other people's. I think children are just happy unless they go through genuinely traumatic, horrible events. Children are happy. Let them play, let them be kids, let them get dirty and build forts and wear what they want. They're happy. They don't need much else. They need support, love, and creativity, and that's kind of it. How do you feel about your relationship with your mother? Me and my mum have had a very tough relationship growing up. It was good and bad and terrible. I blamed her for a lot. I blamed her for leaving. I blamed her for hurting my dad. And she's made mistakes, but humans do. Our relationship gets better with every passing year, and she makes a lot of effort now. Make 3 true we statements each. For instance, we are both in this room feeling. I don't think you're gonna be able to fall in love with me. It's kind of hard doing this. We are both engaging in my feelings right now. We are both thinking, Lucy really lit this video up very badly. Absolute oversaturation. I do apologize. But I have a spot on my forehead and you cannot see that. So in a way, I've kind of done what I was trying to do. And 3, we are both awesome. Yeah! High five. Complete this sentence. I wish I had someone whom I could share my day with. I like having that go-to person. Like, my day was good because of this, and my day was bad because of this. Just sharing my goals and my fears and my happiness and my likes and my dislikes. I like that. If you were going to become a close friend with your partner, please share what would be important for him or her to know. I suffer from severe social anxiety. I will be completely fine one day and the next I can't handle meeting your friends. The day I'd have to meet your mother for the first time, I'd just be so anxious. I'd be crying, probably try and break up with you, but can you just please ignore me? I'm such an independent, stubborn ass, angry woman, and all I want is just someone to see through that and hug me when I'm sad. I just kind of want someone to, to understand that I'm not a monster because I have anxiety, as someone has once called me. I am constantly trying to improve myself. I'm not looking for anyone to fix me, and I'm not looking for someone to just put up with me because, oh, I have anxiety, deal with it. But I want someone to understand that I'm trying, so they should try. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time. Saying things that you might not say to someone you've just met. Kind of repeating myself a lot. I don't have a lot to go on when I'm talking to 5,000 people in general. I like the fact you're still watching this. I don't know how long this video is, but I have been recording for 45 minutes, so I like that you're still here. I like the fact you stuck around when I stopped uploading videos. I like the fact that you comment and that you like and you subscribed. I like the fact that I have become friends with a big bunch of you, and I like the fact that you made YouTube a nice place to be. Share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life. Well, that's just every story time. The one that I'd usually go to is that I threw up on my first date's hand in a taxi over and over again. So that, genuinely, no plug, that story time's down in another video, but went on a first date, was really nice, was really young, got really drunk, threw up all over him, didn't get a second date. When did you last cry in front of another person or by yourself? I'm getting emotional doing this video, if I'm honest. Last time I cry a lot. I haven't cried recently. Yesterday, I cried yesterday. Nothing over anything sad. I was watching bloody Supernatural and Sam and Dean were just getting all emotional and making me cry. Tell your partner something that you like about them already. I like that you're subscribed. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about? I think racism is too much to be joked about. I don't think there should be a line with comedy. I think anything should be able to be joked about when it's genuinely funny. Frankie Boyle, if you've ever listened to him, he's the most offensive human on the planet, but yet what he says is hilarious. So on that basis, I would say a well-constructed, with genuine thought, structure, I don't think anything is too far to joke about, but I've never heard a joke that involves racism that makes me go, oh, okay, that's quite a clever joke. I just think, let's leave it at that. Although I do have a very disgusting and dark sense of humour. If you were to die this evening with no opportunity to communicate with anyone, what would you most regret not having told someone? Why haven't you told them? I'm harbouring a lot of resentment for some people at the moment, I won't lie. I've been really messed about very badly with my heart this year, and I think there's a lot I would like to say to some people, just to rant at them and be like, you're not a very nice person. But at the same time, I'm more trying to let go and love instead of hold on and hate. There's nothing good that I'm holding back. I've always been very open that way. I cannot believe I missed a question out. You almost didn't have the opportunity to fall in love with me. So my house catches on fire. After saving all my loved ones and pets, I have to save an item. What would it be? As cliche as it sounds, it would easily be my laptop. Not because it's got all my videos on there, but because it's got my photographs on there. My photographs are the most important thing to me in the world. Okay, so let's get back to the video. Of all the people in your family, whose death would you find most disturbing? Why? My dad. I know I can survive anything, but the day my dad dies, I know it's gonna happen one day. You just might not ever hear from me again. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just don't. I'm not ready, and I never will be. Share a personal problem and ask your partner's advice on how he or she might handle it. Also, ask your partner to reflect back to you how you seem to be feeling about the problem you have chosen. Okay, well this is going to be difficult, but I will tell you a problem and maybe you could comment the answer or whatever. So at the moment I have a problem with my shops. I have two shops that were never even meant to be two shops, but that was another problem in itself, which I can't be asked explaining all this because this isn't the level of power. So I have two shops, both aren't doing very well at the moment. One is shutting down, which we knew about. That's not because of us or the business, that's fine. We're accepting and totally planned for that. The other shop, which we planned to remain open, was going to be like an office, still a shop, so people could come in and do trade-ins and buy stuff off us, and we were going to help, you know, try and make as much money from this little tiny unit that we've got. But we needed somewhere to store all the stock of Level Up, and this was kind of perfect because it still remains a shop. And in the other time that I was going to start transitioning to working from home, pushing more stuff on YouTube, Patreon, streaming, writing, we were going to be starting doing all this in the future, very, very near future. And although it was too soon, really, I'm not really established enough to be justifying working from home just yet, but certain business events have pushed this to happen, and we saw no point in struggling over February, March or April, the quietest times of the year. So we were like, right, let's just, if we're going to be poor, we may as well be poor with lower overheads. So we're doing that. And then another shop moved into Grand Central. There is a rule that two conflicting stores cannot be open in the same store, and I've been there for 7 years, and I found it incredibly upsetting that the manager has allowed this to happen. I'm upset the shop has done it, although they owe me nothing, but I am upset at them. And now I'm more worried that I won't even earn the minimum I need to earn to justify working from home. And I'm now incredibly worried and scared. I'm worried. It's one of the reasons why I'm pushing Patreon so much, because I saw this as the alternative to not having any shop, which could be very possible right now. And I'm just very worried about it all. There's kind of no fix to any situation. It's too soon to be working from home, but I can't see another option. There's no other place where I can store storage. So even if I left and went fine, I won't have a shop there because I can't compete. I still need to pay for storage because of the amount of sheer volume of stock I've got from Level Up is ridiculous. So I may as well pay for there because at least I might get some revenue back in. It's just a messy situation. It really is. It's so difficult. And I guess that's it. It's a problem that doesn't really have an answer, but still. And finally, silently look into your partner's eyes for 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Okay, I'm moving closer for this one. Are you really gonna look into my eyes for 4 minutes? This isn't gonna be weird at all. But this is an experiment, so let's do it. I want to see if you fall in love with me. So go. Oh, it stopped. Okay, it could at least set an alarm or something. Okay, so that was the video. Are you in love with me now? Comment below, let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's gonna be long, even edited, I know this is gonna be long. There was 36 questions and 4 minutes of eye staring. But thank you so much for watching. It was really interesting to do this video, and at the very, very least, it's a very in-depth and deep video about getting to know me. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment problem solving and the positive characteristics about me, and also comment maybe something interesting about you so I get to learn a bit about you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!